Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff from Rust Bucket Valley Garage. I'd like to talk to you this morning about a very tiny part of this vehicle that is very important. And that part is this one right here. This is a sensor that resides in the front end, and it causes the airbags to deploy whenever there's a collision. Okay, but how does it do that? There is two of these sensors. One is about right here behind the headlight, and the other one is right here behind the headlight that you'll notice right here. There's kind of a brass bushing. And let me see if I can get you turned around. And it goes in here just like this, right on the back of the headlight, and it has one single bolt on there. There is one on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. And when you get into a collision, this sensor will make the airbags deploy. Okay, and let me show you what's going on inside this little thing. So after a collision, is it a good idea to replace these or not? Well, we're not quite sure. The reason is because we have this one here that was on the driver's side, and there are two pins that are in our connector here, and there is really no power that takes and goes to this since it's just two pins. So we measured it with an ohm meter, and it measures about 1,000 ohms. And then we have the one that was on the side with the collision, that in the collision it broke the mounting tab off of it. This one here measures about 900,000 ohms. Excuse me, the measurement on this one right here was a mega ohm. This is 1 million ohms. This one was about 900,000. So we have a new pair of them coming. If you were to take and buy these at the dealer, they're about $130 a copy. Available on eBay, one of our favorite places, not a sponsor. They're about $40. So we ordered a pair of them from eBay. So they should be here in a couple of days. Okay, so what is it that actually goes on inside here? If you were to take and look inside here, there's a little circuit board. Okay, this type of technology is called surface mount technology because everything does not really have a lead on it to solder down, but you actually solder down the body. So, except the big integrated circuit that is right here. So, what is it, since there's minimal circuitry in here, what is it that causes this device to work? Well, usually, as you see, there's kind of a number on here. Generally, that is the number of the integrated circuit. This is called an integrated circuit, and they come in different configurations. You can take that number and you can look it up, and you can find out what this integrated circuit does. Okay, this integrated circuit right here is made by a company called YIC International. They are in Taiwan, which they make a lot of integrated circuits for the automotive industry. This little circuit here is an accelerometer. What an accelerometer does is it measures motion. So if it measures motion, it measures rate of motion, which means it would have an output if you went in your car from like 0 to 60 miles an hour. There would be, the accelerometer would take and measure that, and it would give an output on the 2 pins that are in here. If you have a collision, you will be going at some rate, and then there will be a sudden stop. That in conjunction with other sensors that are in the vehicle would deploy the airbags. Okay, so hopefully I've given you just a little bit of insight as to how these things work and like what's inside these things. I mean, we love taking things apart, you know, especially when we can just take it apart and then throw it away. But we have some of these on order. We'll be replacing them soon. But I decided to give you a little insight as to what's going on inside these things. So basically, it's a little accelerometer. It just tells when your car comes to a complete stop and from a high rate, and then if there's another sensor, it says, "Oh, I got in a wreck." It will go ahead and deploy the airbags. Why does the vehicle not deploy all of the airbags at the same time? Well, there is another sensor in each seat called the seat occupancy sensor, okay, that if there is someone or something that is in that seat, then it will deploy the airbag at that position as well. So if you get in a wreck, it is a possibility that you will just deploy the driver's steering wheel airbag if only the seat occupancy sensor in the driver's seat is activated. Okay, if the passenger seat, say like you have a heavy package or you have a dog in that position, then yes, you could take and have a deployment of the dash airbag as well. It's a pretty decent idea. It's been noted on the internet and in media that if you have a child in a seat, do not put them in the front seat, put them in the back seat, because the airbags will deploy with a lot of force, and even though your child is in a restrained seat, it could take and hurt them just from the deployment of the airbag. Okay, so in the back seat is the best place for them to ride. So I hope I've given you a little bit of information as to what's going on with these things. The JK build continues, waiting for parts right now. We have an order in from Mopar, so as soon as we do a little bit more progress, we'll make an update, and we hope you hang out for the completion of this project. Thank you so much for subscribing. We love all of our subscribers, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you next time.